Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Talking Smash, your destination for news, interviews, bringing out the personality and the history of the best players in the game. I'm excited to bring on our next guest. And of course, guys, I'm your host, ShyWay, brand new to the whole show. We got so much planned for this show and so many exciting guests. Let's start with Mike Haze. Welcome to the show.
Yo, what up? How's it going?
Not much, man. How are you? How have you been? I know you were at Pound recently. You had a YouTube video. Like, what's going on with you? How you been?
Been doing good. Lately, the past few months, took a little bit of a break off Smash, working a lot of music stuff. But I always have Smash there, and I always, practice. I just haven't gone to a lot of events lately. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. I went to Pound. It was dope. It was a cool event. Did all right. Been wanting to make more content. It took like a long hiatus from doing videos or doing anything on Twitch. So it's been kind of cool to have the motivation come back to me and start wanting to make content again.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, as like, I guess primarily you're a Melee dedicated player. We've had Smash like Ultimate come out recently. That's kind of been the focal point. But with Pound, I feel like things have kind of been shifting. Like Melee is kind of making this crazy comeback, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But good to know that you're being more active. You're coming back. You had some of the best like Twitch streams and YouTube content before too. So I just can't wait to see what you have. No problem, man. And one thing I'd love to do with these shows is I go all the way back to the beginning to where it all started. Because today, you're a professional Smash Bros. Melee player. You're the ranked 8th. I know we talked about this before, but ranked 8th on Wiki, at least, in the SoCal Melee Power Rankings, 43rd worldwide in the 2018 MPGR. You're multi-talented. You can play Smash, but also rap about it, too. Overall, you're one of the most entertaining and creative minds in the Smash Bros. Community. And you've been in Smash for a while. You've been competing all the way back since 2006. So tell me, where did it all begin? How'd you first get into Smash Bros. Melee?
That was a mouthful, and I want if I ever have a funeral, I want you to speak at my funeral because I don't think anyone's ever been that positive about me. Yeah, dude. So I started in 2006. I got in actually. It's really weird that Hugo is the reason I got into Smash. So I had a high school tournament. I was in band, and we're doing like a tournament for a fundraiser to fundraise money for band. And Hugo shows up with a couple of his friends, and I had never watched Melee before. I'd played 64, never watched Melee.
Hugo shows up as well.
Yeah. How do you know that?
I've been snooping, man. I did some research, and I'm a huge Halo fan too. So I'm like, damn, this guy started in Halo 2. Anyway.
That was my first real competitive game, just playing online, and it was like kind of my exposure to Halo and MLG and all that stuff. Yeah, we had the tournament. Hugo ended up winning, and this is in like 2006. So Hugo was already like 25. I hear a bunch of stuff in the background.
Yeah, I'm hearing Tony. I'm hearing all of the like your UGC stuff. All right, appreciate it.
Yeah. So I started. Hugo won the tournament. I was really inspired to start playing Melee. So it was kind of funny that eventually he'd become my like longtime friend. My best friend, my roommate up until this last weekend. But yeah, that's kind of where I got started and introduced to Smash. And from there, I just started going to tournaments. For me, my goal was never to be good or anything. It was just kind of more a social thing. I had a bunch of friends in the community. It was a place where I can be somebody who I wanted to be. I didn't have to deal with all the problems at school or at home. I could just go to a tournament and be somebody else. So that's kind of what drew me initially. Then little by little, I started improving, and here I am now.
Right, and you started out, so Hugs was the first person you got to see, and he's a Samus main. So I think like Samus was the first character that you started playing. Is that true?
Dude, how do you know that? Yes, that is true. Yeah, Samus is the first person or the first character I played. I played Samus for, I don't know, like a couple of hours maybe. Okay. And then I was introduced to more videos. I saw a combo video. It's called Shine Blind, and I just thought Samus was the best at the time, and then I saw that and I thought Fox was the best. So yeah, that's how it started. I could have been a Samus player. Things could have been so much different.
Man, but the crazy thing about Samus is it's almost like playing a different game when you play Samus. Like it's an entirely different character. Just like the even short hopping is whack. Like I don't know. Anyway, Fox is a better choice in my opinion. Fox has just so much depth. He's so fast. He's so fun, satisfying to use. But anyway, we'll let you do the talking about Smash. As a competitor, though, so you at some point you switched the mindset. You wanted to be a little bit more competitive with it. You needed a gamer tag. Where did Mike Haze come from?
Jesus, I hate this one. So initially I played Blue Fox. I thought it was purple. Okay. So I picked Purple Fox. And I needed a name, and I was like, all right. I was like, 16, I guess? And I was like, okay, my tag is going to be Haze. I just, like Purple Haze, like the Jimi Hendrix song. A
Right.
lot of people think it's because like I smoked pot, but like
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, no, it's not because of that. Just I thought I was fucking cool. I was like Haze. So I showed up to my first tournament, and it was actually at Ken's house, is one of his bi-weeklies,
Okay.
and his brother comes up to me, and his brother's like known for being kind of like, I don't want to say a dick, but he's just kind of abrasive.
Okay.
So he comes up to me, and like the first thing he asked me is like, "Hey, what's your tag?" And I was like, "Oh," and he said like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I was like, "My name's Mike." And he's like, "No, like your gamer tag." I'm like, "Oh, Haze." He's like, "Well, which is it? Is it Mike or Haze?" And I'm like, "Mike Haze." And then that was it. And that's how ManaCloud, that's his name, gave me my name, Mike Haze. So my tag also could have been Haze, which would have been a different timeline too. But yeah, that's how I got started. I don't know. I've thought about changing it a few times. I like the name Michael more as I've gotten older.
Oh, okay.
It's because Michael sounds like way cooler than Mike Hayes, but Mike Hayes kind of like grew on me.
Yeah, I think Mike Hayes is like a nice short and sweet. It runs off the tongue
Yeah.
because like my name's Alex. I like the name Alexander. It sounds like a strong name, but that's a mouthful to say, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but in general though, so you basically got forced into a corner, and you're like, oh, it's Mike Hayes. It's Mike, and that ended up.
It sounds pretty dope now that I think. Mike Hayes sounds pretty cool. I never thought about it like from an outside point of view, but it sounds dope.
Mike Hayes, dude. Yeah. It kind of sounds like you're a rapper. Which, wait a second, that's weird.
Shocker.
We'll get to that as well. So you didn't actually stick with competing in Melee too long at the start, though. So you competed for about a year, maybe 2 years, but then 2008, the Brawl ended up rolling around. That caught your eye. So tell me a bit of like why you made the switch over to Brawl, and how did that go? Apparently you were one of the top Marth mains at the time as well.
Yeah, eventually I did get pretty good. So my Melee career was very lackluster. I went to one major my couple years that I played. And to give you an idea of how bad it was, like I didn't make it out of round one of pools. So like you can see where I'm at now, and that's where I started.
Right.
So I played and it was cool. But when Brawl came out, I was playing a lot more Melee. That's when like a couple months before was kind of when I started hanging out with Mango and Lucky and Gimpy Fish. So like 3 really good players, and then like I started getting better at Melee. And it's funny because I remember the night that Brawl came out, we were all excited. We went to a Smash Fest. We got it, admin at a GameStop, and everybody in the room hated it except for Mango and Lucky. Like they loved the fucking game. Like they just did not want to put it down. I'm like, dude, let's play Melee. Everyone's shit talking Brawl. Fuck this. Let's go play something else. And they didn't want it. I was like, okay. So I started playing Brawl more. And with Brawl's release, the Melee community kind of dwindled down a bit. So we'd go from big tournaments at the time, which were like 80 to 100 people, to like literally like 12 people at a local or like our monthly. I remember driving like an hour to go to like an 8-man tournament. So for me, like I was mentioning, the social aspect was the most important since I wasn't very good.
Right.
It just wasn't worth it to drive that far for those events when all my friends had already moved on to Brawl. We're going to Brawl tournaments with 150 people there. So yeah, I kind of switched off for a bit, and eventually I was just playing more and more. And I think the more that you do something, obviously the better you get. And eventually I just got good enough to start winning matches, and I became like a national threat along the way.
Nice. And that's actually crazy to hear that Mango and Lucky were the ones who were supporting Brawl in that situation. Like you think of Mango today, and he's like holding Melee on his shoulders. Like it's pretty incredible. I guess it was way before he even kind of recognized his full potential as a player too. Yeah. At
that point, he had just won the biggest Melee tournament at the time, which is called Pound 3.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean that's just happened. So Mango's like come up was really quick, like a year, literally like maybe a year and a half, and he was already the best. At his first tournament, he got like 3rd, I think. So, like that gives you an idea of how good this kid was. But yeah, I mean, they stuck around, like, and that's kind of the beauty of Melee 2 is the people that stuck around really had to deal with like those 12-man locals. You're driving an hour just to go play against one person and just play, a couple of for a while. So that's kind of those dark times for Melee were really the sunshine when you look back at it too, because like those people helped keep it alive, and that's kind of like the foundation it was built on.
Interesting. So as somebody who's a great Brawl player like yourself, maining Marth, you're one of the top Marth mains. I go on YouTube and I try to find footage of you playing Smash Bros. Brawl. And all I seem to be able to find here is this one moment, which is now a historical moment in your Smash history.
When I beat Ally, is that the one?
Probably that. Yeah, right. No, actually, it's you screaming in the face of an Ice Climbers player during a money match. And let's check out the original footage. Tony, you guys. I don't know if we can hear it, but I'm sure they can. There it is. Awesome. All right. So yeah, so they're not just regular screams. These are like blood curdling in your ear, like like the guy playing is gonna freak out. There's even a video that I saw where there was literally like a staff member sits down every time you scream. He's like taking his hands off the controller. He's like, "Holy crap, this is shaking me." So man, give me some context here. What's going on? When did you first start doing this? How are you doing this? Tell me about it.
I just kind of did it because I wanted to save the future wobblers of Melee. Become so prominent, and I just wanted.
There's not even wobbling in Brawl, is there? Like of all games.
Same thing, right? No, dude. So, the true the realest context you're gonna get is I was 19 and I was in Texas at a tournament and I was just super fucking stoned. I was just blasted out of my mind.
I love that you could just say that.
I'm in California. It's legal, baby.
And I'm in Toronto and it's legal too. Let's go, dude.
Dude. I was just super blasted and I was like, yo, this would be mad funny. And whether it was or it wasn't, I thought it was funny at the time. I still think it's kind of funny. But I don't know. I mean, it's stupid that because that's like 10 years old now, right? Like 9 or 10 years old. It's stupid that a lot of people still. It's funny. Like if you look at my Twitter ads ever, like daily almost, people will be like, "Yo, you remember you fucking loser when you screamed at that guy's face?" Like people are just like trying to be toxic about some shit as if it's like still me now. Yeah. And that's always like I don't know if it's funny, but it's like weird that people hold on to that so hard. Probably my biggest Melee or my biggest Smash mistake, just because it's like it's what in terms of like what it's become. But it's become sort of a meme too, and I've like had to embrace it in ways at times. So like you'll see me on Twitter like making jokes about it periodically.
Yeah.
It's just annoying when people flame me. I'm like, dude, like I'm such a different person than I was when I was 19.
Yeah. The flame I can imagine is frustrating. It wasn't a true tournament match; it's a money match as well. Have you ever done that in tournament?
No, also? Hell no. No, I have respect for like. It's funny because I'm going to say I have respect for the competition. But I think at the end of the day,
shine after you got the kill. People seem to rip on you for doing the drop down shine as well, which I find is like whatever, dude. Like, come on. Yeah, and that's mind games. Like that's like how you mess them up for the next stock.
Deeper in them, yeah, for sure. Now, I was gonna say like I have respect for the competition, but then I'm reflecting and I'm not sure if I took the money at the end of the money match or not. So like I can't say anything. Like I'm pretty sure I did probably, which is fucked up. I've offered to buy the dude. Every time this comes up online, I'm like, dude, I owe you a beer at least. Like we've talked about it in person too, and we're cool about it. Like we understand we're kids. But yeah, man, I don't know. That was stupid of me. I shouldn't have done that, but whatever.
I don't know. I disagree because I think apart from the occasional backlash, I think it's a cool the cool thing about a controversial moment like this is that the screaming is kind of like a unique part of your identity now, right? Like so, and apparently it's also like an addiction too, which I find is super weird. Because you can make so much content about this, right? This builds out your personality. There's a YouTube video done by Obey as well. They do great stuff. And
actually,
there's this
one was done by East Coast. My bad. I'm alive. You're good. It's okay. We did it during my Summit campaign. So this is when I was campaigning to get into Summit. Chudat was drawing all sorts of things on his face and shaving his head. And instead I decided to drop a diss track, which is actually deleted. We don't talk about that diss track.
Ooh.
Well, we can if you want, actually.
I didn't even know about it.
It's the hidden diss.
I've done all my research and I didn't.
See, dude. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we dropped a Chudat diss track like for one night. And it went too ham. People were actually like offended at this fucking diss track.
Holy.
Which is kind of funny to me, especially like coming from rap. When I do rap, like I do it for me. I don't really care about if people are offended or not. But with this, since it's like Smash related, people were like pissed and like just basically there was potential for people to find out like Chudat's personal information. Like it ended up like there was that kind of shit. I don't care if people were pissed. It was just like
too close to home.
Like literally, like people could find out his personal information and shit. I did delete it. But I got into Summit, so that was cool. But yeah, we did the screaming video. We decided to meme on it just because fuck it. And yeah, I mean, it ended up pretty cool. I liked it.
Right. So there was an intervention. Let's show some of the intervention. Hopefully we can get the audio and then maybe a little bit of us so we can talk a bit here too. You're excited to
what's I doing with my beard?
To see Armada apparently? I don't know.
Oh yeah, they told me Armada was going to be there.
And I can't hear it though. That's the thing. Hopefully we get
audio.
I didn't know he wasn't.
It's happening. It's hard to balance. This is something we're working out with UGC is trying to get that
something that we need
audio also.
We've assembled.
I'm throwing these. There's a couple things I wanted to point out that I thought was just hilarious in this though.
Screaming. Gotta put it down.
We're both live.
And that's what we're here
okay, both audios are live. Okay, cool. Right. We can't hear it, unfortunately. Makes it a little bit more difficult to comment on what you're saying.
Come take a seat.
Is this?
They said Armando's gonna be here.
He's coming, man.
There, let's let it play.
Chillin', Lauren. What's going on?
Well, look, he's just taking a swig of alcohol. What is this intervention? Who needs the intervention? Look at, and that's Fireball whiskey too. That's like
We have to prep you for
oh man,
first games.
There's just some steps that we need to talk about.
Is this
about
about
a cigarette in his
it's
ear?
about the house? The dishes
That's the
again?
worst look. I hate
Like I
that.
told you I'd do them, dude. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The dishes are done. The dishes are done. And so is beating around the bush on this topic. We gotta talk. Mike, I know you since Brawl, man. It's a while ago.
It's been a minute.
Brawl died too, man. I thought this issue would have died along with it.
I just don't get it, dude. Like screaming is just so it doesn't hurt anyone, you know. Like it makes me feel good. It makes me feel completed on the inside. So I don't really get.
That's not a problem for you. It's a problem for the rest of us. The rest
Is
of
he
us
drunk?
sitting
Is
there
Chillin
trying to
is
enjoy our
Chillin drunk like
tournament
legit?
experience. All of a sudden, we hear you screaming in the background.
Somebody in
What
the
are we
comments
supposed to
said,
do with that? What are we really supposed to do about that? We hear you screaming in the background. That's affecting us. It's affecting your friends. It's affecting the people closest to you. It's got to stop, man.
You're waking
You
me
gotta
up at
move
night,
up.
Mike. This sounds
Mike, when you beat Mango, were you yelling in his ear? Were you causing any kind of destructive behaviors? No, because you did it the right way. And we want you to do it the right way again. So what if there's
The
two
comments
standing
aside,
in
drunk
Sopo?
Chillin seems like a really helpful counselor.
Because they don't know no.
I can't believe you're not banned from tourneys. Gee, there's still haters in your YouTube comments, dude. Just about
It's
screaming.
really funny. You can do it.
I'm gonna get a hug.
Anyway, you guys hug it out. It's a cute moment.
Yes.
I recommend you guys check this out.
Together.
If you
Oh,
go
it's there.
I think it's either chillin' or he says "Ayo, chillin', pass the bottle." It's really funny.
I think doesn't he say put it down? And he's like, no, I can't. It's already.
Maybe that's what it was. It was
It's
something like that.
already
It was,
in my head,
so
yeah.
funny. Yeah, that was an experience. That was pretty funny. I mean, that was just kind of a way to like make fun of obviously like what happened and stuff. Especially again, like you can see the comments, and like a lot of people are just being annoying. Like, I'm surprised someone hasn't punched you in the face or like shit like that. So like, people are always gonna be annoying, but it's how you deal with it, right?
Yeah, and I love that Smash Summit kind of brings out these aspects of your personality. It's one of those things that I think is just so amazing for you guys as you get to compete to go into summits. We see the most like Chudat eating like raw onions and stuff, which is ridiculous. Like like in a blender, he was making like an onion smoothie or something. That was the worst. Anyway. Whole other thing. One other thing I love about the screaming, though, is that you guys took a charity initiative out of it as well as Smash the Record. So they had you scream to distract wobbling players in a wobbling contest, essentially. Guys, check out the clip here.
We're going to see who can last longer.
Okay, so we're
3,
just going to time it.
Just go.
Is that it? Yeah, I don't think he got the wobble started. Oh my god. The crowd is losing a little bit of steam. A little bit. I think Chew is completely unaffected by the screaming. The hotel staff just peeked in and is like, what are these nerds doing?
So,
I know, right? Hold on. Let me...
All right,
This
all
is
right,
a
all
great
right, stop.
initiative. Cody, we got it.
All right.
And I'll. So tell me a bit about this, man. Like this, how did this happen? Did they just kind of come up to you and say we want to try this, or what's that all about?
Yeah, Raging Cherry was like he was trying to find because he always does like side events or like side things to help raise more money. So this is for St. Jude, who smashed the record.
Right.
A yearly thing he was doing just to raise money for kids, of course. And he always comes up with like crazy ideas. Like one year he had to play tournament with oven mitts.
Oh
right?
yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
That just goofy stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this year he went ham. So we had like a live rap show donation goal, and we had all sorts of stuff. And then this was one of them, which was ice cream while they try to wobble.
Yeah.
And of course I said, yeah. I mean, it's for the kids. I don't care. I was down to do it. I'm gonna do something like that anyway, just because it's funny. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be really fun and easy. And I don't even think they dropped wobbles after like the first time. And it was the worst because after I'm done yelling, like this is
Right.
like 15 minutes of me screaming for my life.
Right.
My heart's pounding. I'm like sweating, and I just walked for like 2 hours.
Oh my god.
I was just there, and I was just like, I'm the real loser here. Like, not only am I screaming, but I can't speak. I can't do nothing.
You guys raise money for charity. You can't be upset about that though.
I mean, yeah, that's true. No,
Kids.
you're right.
Yeah.
The kids are the winners. Now, yeah, I mean, it was a fun experience. That was cool. Shots to Raging Cherry. Those events are always dope. That same year, I started speed running. A little bit prior to that, and I got actually.
What are you speed running?
I was playing Mega Man X for a while.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, which is really fun. Classic game. It's like one of my favorites growing up. So I got to learn that, and I actually got to do a race at that tournament too, or at that event against Caleb Hart, who's one of the best speedrunners in that game. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. Gaming's taken me a lot of places. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, from something that kind of, some people gave you flack for it, ultimately, there were so many cool opportunities that came from that, and it kind of built out, a personality for you, got you into Summit. So I think that was pretty awesome. And your screams are being heard as well, I believe, because it seems like this is kind of a tangent from your Smash history for a second. It looks like Wobbly. Your screams are being heard, yeah. Wobbly's getting banned, man. GOML 2019 is officially the first major tournament to ban wobbling. So what do you think about this? What do you think about wobbling in general? I know Leffen had a controversial YouTube video, and the topic, like the title was Jigglypuff and wobbling is killing Melee. Tell me a bit about what you think about this stuff.
Sure. I actually didn't watch his video. So all these opinions.
Yeah, you get the premise.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm just saying that I haven't gone that. So it's just my straight up opinion on it. It's like, I don't know much about Puff outside of like her playing like a degenerate's fucking stupid. I think it's annoying. It's just dumb. It's just like there are players who will go there. Right. Like, no, well, there are players like with their goal of timing you out.
Right.
And like, I don't understand it. But at the same time, it's kind of hard because it's also a tournament. Right. Like a tournament's pretty much like similar to the screaming thing, although that's an extreme, clearly bad example. You also have to do what it takes to win the tournament. You're going to do whatever you can. If that involves pissing your opponents off and camping, then that's fine. Because it's a tournament, right? Unless there's a rule against it. I do think Jigs is toxic. Like players that play like that with the goal of timing someone out is toxic. I think it's stupid. Don't think it's fun to watch. And I think wobbling, like, I'm more forgiving than that. But I look at wobbling as a broken mechanic. I just don't. I truly don't feel that one should be rewarded a stock based off of like most of the time it's through a tech skill error or through an execution error, and I don't think a player should be able to get a stock just from that. Especially when in such, I don't know. I don't know if the execution thing matters, but just like as a side note, on top of like the simple execution, like. If I get a punish, let's say I get a punish on like a Fox, I have to work. I still, after I get my grab, which is going to be one of my biggest combo starters, I still have to execute, and I still have to follow their DI and tech chase, and there's still so much more to take that stock. Even though it's a lot easier now that I have an opening, I still have to work for it. But the fact that like ICs don't have to work for that, they just have to shield grab and hope their opponent messes something up, or just go for grabs in neutral off of like a small committal read. I think that distribution of risk reward is just severely broken, and I don't think it should be allowed in tournament. Yeah,
and there's escapes for those situations too. Like you said, like if the player's DIing, if they smash DI, if you do an up air, it's not like a guaranteed scenario. There's so much that you have to do to prep yourself for the next scenario. Even with Jigglypuff doing an up throw on you, you can DI those things out, and then somebody like Hungrybox has to follow on the platform and get the read and follow up with multiple hits, whatever. But once you're caught in a wobble, you're caught in a wobble and you're 99% dead unless they somehow mess up their F smash. But you come out of that with like 200% anyway. So it's it's a frustrating situation, and it's not exactly entertaining to watch, of course, because it just slows down gameplay. We're just kind of I think they had people will do things like during the wobble. They've had like wobble music and like all this ridiculous stuff just to try to make it more exciting, but.
I've seen this dude solve a Rubik's Cube while wobbling, and I thought that was fucking impressive. I thought that was
that's actually pretty crazy.
It was a home stream, so it's just a practice joke thing. Yeah. But he was wobbling in one hand. I don't know how he was holding it, and then in the other hand he was solving. It's really funny.
God. Okay.
I was impressed.
If no, I know that's insane. What's he hitting the A button with?
I don't know. He probably had his arm on it somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
No, it's like freaking ridiculous. The stuff, but the fact that he can do that means it should be banned right there. No, I don't know.
No, but I do think it's a good thing that tournaments are taking initiative to at least like try it out, and see what happens. Because like, I made a video the other day actually where I was kind of talking about the new player experience and how important that is. It's important that new players have fun at the event, even if they're losing, right? You could still play and lose, but you could still have fun during the game, even if you're getting fucked up.
Right.
But like getting wobbled is just such a not fun experience, no matter what skill level you are.
Yeah.
So players who go to a tournament, they're going 0-2, and they happen to run into an Ices, like they don't even feel like they got a chance or were able to play.
Yeah.
And that's another part of it where it's just like it kind of fucks it up for the newer players who want to continue playing and like continue grinding. Like they're not having as much fun during the tournament.
Yeah.
All this is extra subjective stuff though. My argument for it being banned is like I think it's just broken. I think it's stupid. But these are just like extra things to think about. So it's cool that tournaments are taking the initiative to do that, just to see if it'll provide a better experience for those players or for the event overall.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, even just on top of the fact that it takes a lot of time, right? I think for a lot of Smash players, you want to play hot as possible. Like you get in the zone, you get very focused, and you want to kind of keep on that momentum string. And the moment you get wobbled and you're kind of just waiting there and your hands aren't moving, you're not pressing buttons, you kind of lose some of that heat, or you can, or change your mindset, or whatever it is.
Sure,
so, yeah, a lot of little things kind of, a part of that. But so let's go back to the journey a bit here. So after Brawl, you made the switch back to Melee. So tell me a bit about that. Why the switch back? Are you glad you made the decision? There's nothing quite like Melee, is there?
There isn't. Melee is the sickest game of all time. Brawl was cool. Eventually, it had all the numbers. Everybody was watching it. Everyone was playing it. Melee started making a bit of a comeback, which I thought was dope. But I was still playing Brawl, and I didn't really care. I just thought, whatever, like Melee is there. That's my old game. It's still fun, but it's just not for me. So my peak in Brawl is around like top 15-ish. Had some big wins, had some big losses. I did a lot in Brawl. It was a really good experience. But then I wanted to kind of like, I was TOing at the time. I was trying to think about what led up to this. I was TOing at the time, Brawl tournaments. And at some point I was just like, you know what? Like, why? I wasn't having fun TOing. I would TO the event, get there at fucking 8 a.m. I'd want to leave at like.
You're competing and you're TOing these events, right? You're
doubles and singles, and like it was such a long day for me. It's horrible. I mean, I wouldn't
even making any money from this at all. It's just kind of you do it because you love it.
Exactly that. Right? From TOing, it was cool because I would get money and I had a good split with the venue and stuff. So that was dope.
Okay.
And I do enjoy fostering community growth. I do enjoy helping people out, and I love that.
Right.
But at the time, I remember asking myself, like, what are you doing this for? Like, what do you care more about? Do you want to be a TO or do you want to compete? And I gave that ultimatum to myself, and I said I want to compete. So I stopped TOing, and like I was hosting the biggest tournaments in SoCal. Like we'd get monthlies of like 120 people for monthlies. But at the time, like in retrospect, it's all right. But at the time, like all the other tournaments. Outside of SoCal, we're getting like 60 to 80. So like for me to get like 120 was really damn good. And I was hosting bigger tournaments. We started hosting out of our apartments. We finally got venues. Wow. We started doing all sorts of stuff. So that was cool. But I just eventually wanted to quit. I just wanted to compete, and I stopped TOing. And then nobody really picked up the slack. There were a few attempts, but those tournaments kind of like happened to Melee. Went my 120 man tournaments to like 12 to 16.
Oh my god, yeah.
But it was also very stale because I was already one of the best, and it just wasn't as fun. It was, it went like down a couple notches. So kind of no TOs, but it was just kind of boring at the time. So at that point, I think is around when Project M was coming out, and that was starting to blow up, and I think a lot of Brawl players went to that. Right. So I had a choice, and I'm like, do I want to play PM and wait for Smash 4, or do I want to go back to Melee? So of course I went back to Melee. And that's just kind of how my Melee journey came back up. So I just chose Melee instead of Project M and started going to tournaments and traveling and doing all that stuff for Melee.
You said that was 2013, right?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere around there.
That's just a massive year for Melee, though, right? Because that's when we came back to Evo. So it was like a great time to join in. Yeah, it's like 2013 Evo was insane.
You know what? I think I came back like before the doc came out, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Let me find the. I have to look at it. I'm curious.
I think it's 2013.
I played Mango at SSS, so this is 4 years ago.
Yeah.
No, 2015. Oh no, wait, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, 2014. Maybe like summer 2014 is when I came back, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Okay. Also, the prime Mango years, though. He gets the 2 back-to-back Evos there, too. But really exciting time for Melee. And, of course, Melee's going – it went through like a peak, and then it kind of went down a bit, but it's been coming back. So we'll talk about that as well. But you continue to improve at Melee, and you're becoming one of the top members of your region as well. You start taking sets off some of the top players like Mango, Lucky, The Moon, Chudak, Kobold, Chillin, Plup, etc. 2017, you achieved the rank of 28th worldwide. Is that your highest ranking to date? At what point in your career did you feel like you were improving at the fastest rate? When did you feel like you're getting the best practice in? And I know, like in earlier interviews, you said you lived in a house of smashers as well. Is that where you get the best practice?
Jesus, yeah, I forgot about that. My highest rank, so that was my highest yearly rank. I think that summer of 2018, I got ranked like 23rd, which was cool. It was dope. It was a good time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was a summer rank, so it wasn't like an official yearly rank, but it was through like ESPN or whatever, so it's pretty dope. Awesome. But yeah, so practice wise, where to get the best practice when was the peak of my career in terms of like improvement and stuff. And I think it was definitely around that time, just because I was playing so damn much. Yeah. So at that point, when I came back to Melee, I stopped TOing and stuff. I think my girlfriend and I split up around that time too, so I had to find a new place to live. So I got my place and I was like living there, and I had a full-time job and stuff. But I wanted to quit my job. That was my goal. I was like, dude, I need to quit my fucking job. I hate this. So I saved up a little bit and I got some roommates, and it was really funny in retrospect. At the time, it was kind of cool. Like in retrospect, it was horrible because it was a 1-bedroom apartment. So it was a living room and it was 4 people.
I feel like, did you guys do a bunch of streams and stuff from there as well? You were all kind of sitting on the couch together and you were playing Melee, and like I think it was you and Hugs, and there was a bunch of other people who would constantly come in.
Yeah, we would have Smash Fests called Homies.
Yeah.
That was really popping for SoCal at the time. We'd have like 20 people over just like getting drunk. And we had our own stream. It was called the House of Swag. Rest in peace.
Oh my god.
We were like drunk on that at midnight. But we would stream there. That's how I got into streaming, actually. We bought some equipment. We did a fundraiser, and we would just stream like all the time from that channel with my roommates. And like that was like I was already coming up, but that was like my big come up because a lot of those players were on my same skill level and were helping me improve. And like their main thing was Melee too. So having them there just really pushed me to get better constantly. And then my mentality of just like never wanting to be stagnant just really helped me get through all that and keep improving. Yeah, that was a struggle time, man. That was crazy. We're paying $250 each because it was such a small place. So we're paying $250, $100 each. And I remember like going to tournaments and just like trying to win to pay my rent and stuff. But that's when I got started streaming. So like after that, I realized I was the one that was streaming the most. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna start my own channel. Fuck it. Like I was doing work anyway, so I figured I would just do my own shit. Yeah, and from there, then like I started, getting on Twitch and improving that way. Started streaming. Damn, I guess that's how it all started. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah. It's kind of sometimes things just kind of happen, and you don't really acknowledge what the start was. So that's fun to see.
Yeah, right. And I mean, yeah, it must have been one hell of an environment. You're surrounded by people who, have the same passion for the game. It's incredibly competitive as well because you all want to be the best. And yeah, I can only imagine you learned so much in that time. Do you have like a single best event that you went to? And it's kind of hard to find like one event when I was looking through your results because there's different people that show up these events. There's, the amount of entrants. There's so many different things. What do you think?
I think like if I were, 80 and we're looking back at my entire career, I'd probably say the highlight was actually the UGC Smash tournament.
Let's go. Awesome.
Yeah. So that tournament, I ended up beating Mango in winners. I think, dude, I have this problem. I always get 9th at tournaments. Like at majors, I've never gone top 8, and I've gone 9th like so many damn times.
Oh
like it happens all the time. And that was one of those where it was like, I think I beat the Moon, and then I beat Mango, and then I needed like one more win, and then I just got destroyed. I forgot who I lost. So I lost like None and someone else really good. Yeah, that was a toughie. But anyway, that was like probably, I think like if people look at my career, that's probably what they say is like my peak. Because beating Mango is obviously a big deal, and then beating Moon, he was really like on fire at the time too. So yeah, looking back, it's probably my peak. But I don't know. I don't like thinking of tournaments that way. I like looking at how I'm doing now more so. Like how do I feel? And for me, events, like it's just something that's grown in my mindset. Events aren't necessarily about placing or beating someone. It's about how I feel when I'm playing and like how mentally aware I am or how ready I am for these matches.
Right.
It's more of a mental checklist or like a body checklist rather than this is my, these are my 2 losses, or this is who I beat at this tournament. It's a culmination of like mental game more so for me.
Right. I like that. It's something that happens as you mature, is like a constant self-reflection. Like, okay, whether or not I'm winning, am I growing as a result of this event? Am I, challenging myself, and what am I gaining from this experience outside of just results, right? So there's so much to it. and you're not just playing Smash as well. You're also spitting bars on the side, apparently, too. So Chillin, I don't know when this originally started, and you can let me know, but Chillin brings out a diss track for Leffen, and this is, everybody knows about this. It turns into a 5-0 and a MyB on Twitter, and then you launch a Chillin diss track of your own, and let's see what you got. Tony, play the diss track.
I guess I gotta bring it back to teach Chillin a lesson. It's truly upsetting after getting bodied by Leffen. He set up his defense, but I'm standing here with a deadly weapon. Just give me a second and Chillin will see Armageddon. Everybody knows that you play the game weird. Maybe you top losing if you sipped on some brain gear. Just gotta say I'm sorry if this seems mean. Part of Team Liquid, Hugo sponsored by your dream team. Been here 10 years, still irrelevant. Never getting gold, cause that's too far out your element. Guess you gotta rap to make yourself a better kid. While you talking smack, who'd you lose to at Genesis? I'm stepping to Chillin, repping the West, I'm the villain. Never been solid like Liquid, I wrap them up like I'm gifted. This shit's been written in the hidden scripts of Topo Kids is living kin. That Chillin would probably lose to Eichelman. Nah, homeboy, gotta bring the beat back when it stays on, so you get in seat jack. Gotta keep it real, my flow will always kill, man. No way you can beat me when you drop it, Sister Milk, man. You ain't got Smash, you ain't got bars. Your real ranks between Kira and Scar. So what? Hugo might have lost the far, but Chillin, let me ask, who the fuck is Gar? Ain't got no footage, do you know what that means? You rarely get far enough to play on a stream. Now you're on a team with Captain Crunch. I guess this is what'll happen if you lose the dunk. P.S. Chillin, you must be confused. I like your last rap, did Neo write that one too? Gotta call you out like when I beat you, and leave you body bagged like when I beat you.
Damn. So where did this start? What's this all about?
That's a classic.
Yeah.
So I was already into rap for a while. Actually, another Smasher. You guys should look him up. His name is Neo. Okay. He kind of started the rap Smash parody game, or he was just doing Smash raps back in like 2007, 2008. Like and he was actually dope. Like him and I were friends, and me being impressionable when I was younger made me want to get into rap. And we both played Marth and stuff, and we're both like friends. So I wanted to get into rap. So I mean, either way, whatever. I was just doing my own stuff, and I was kind of like making music but not showing anyone, just the classic musician. So Chillin releases the Leffen diss track, and I was like, wow, this is really dope. So I used to how I started getting bigger on Twitch initially was like I would do freestyles for fun, Smash related stuff, or just like just goof around and do freestyles and raps. And then he did a diss track on Hugo, who again Hugo's been a longtime friend of mine. He did a diss track on him called Nice Shot Hugo, where he just completely roasted him. Yep. He bodied him. It was really funny. And then as a response, I did it in one night. Oh no, I think it got released, and then the next day Hugo came over, and I wrote out in one day. I wrote out the entire diss track, recorded it, and we filmed the video and edited the video. So he uploaded it on Wednesday. We had a rebuttal by like Thursday night or Friday morning. And that was really fun. It was cool. I like those time crunches. I like the diss track element in rap too, where just kind of like you have to fire back immediately. Like I love that. I love that kind of time crunch. It's like stressful, but I think good stuff always comes from it. And the same thing happened. Well, that started like me doing rap and Smash, which kind of, I don't know. I like doing it because it's fun and it's funny to me, but it's not where I want my rap career to go. Like I don't want to just be known for that, right? Just because it's not my goal. But it definitely gave me more confidence in wanting to do music full time and start venturing off into doing my own independent projects. Right. Because without that stuff, like I probably would continue to never show anyone anything. So from there, I don't know if we had done it already, but at some point, Chill and I did a couple of live freestyle battles at SmashCon, where we would just freestyle battle each other. I won both of them. Nice. Shout outs to SmashCon. Now I have both my medals from those, so that was fun. All friendly fun, and then that's kind of how me and Chillin became really good friends and stuff. yeah, but I don't know, that kind of like opened up a lot of doors. Maybe not like I got a record deal or something, but gave me a lot of entryway into like the music, understanding music, and like wanting to do more with it and wanting to release projects, giving me the confidence to do that.
Right.
So I have to look back in those and always be grateful that those happened.
Yeah, that's interesting how Smash has just shaped so many, areas of your career now. And yeah, giving you the confidence to kind of come out and start to actually showcase your talents, your music to other people. Because like you said, you were making music for the longest time and nobody heard it or saw it or anything. So what is the goal then, actually, if you don't mind me asking, in the rap side of things? Would you like to also build out a career there?
Yeah, definitely. My goal is, so I think something Smashers do a lot is, I don't want to say get complacent, but a lot of us don't really think about the future, right? So even me for the last few years, it's like, okay, cool. I have my sponsor, or I'm part of a team. Sure. I have my content, I have my Twitch stuff. Like, I'm getting paid for this. This is all dope things. But what am I doing after this? Like, any day, or not any day, but at the end of any contract, my team can just decide to drop me.
Sure.
Or I cannot be performing as hot. We're not doing anything, and then now nobody wants to sign me. And this isn't just for me, right? This is for any player. This can happen to like at least most. Like, I think Mango is fine, right? But like most players don't have a backup. Like, that's something I was thinking about. It's like, well, what happens if any of this happens? Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to keep competing? And I would like to keep competing, of course. But I would need to figure something out. Like, what is my next step, basically, right? I didn't go to college or anything, so like, what would I do? Like, am I going to go get a regular job, which I can? I did sales for like years and years and years, so I can always go back and do that.
Right.
But I don't necessarily want to. So like, I was just like, okay, well, I enjoy making music. I like doing this. So let's just see where this leads me. So last year, actually, about a year ago now, and I think it was last May, I released like a EP mixtape type of thing.
Yeah.
And that was cool. That was more, I don't know, looking back on it, it was more so kind of a test in terms of figuring out how to make music and what I'm doing, and figuring out my style and what I want to do, basically. But yeah, I released that, and that was cool. It came out all right. We did an Indiegogo for it, so like, it didn't cost me too much, which is really cool. But now I'm working on a full project. I'm working on like a full-length album. It's all self-released. I'm not getting money from anyone, so there's a lot more stress behind it, and there's a lot more riding on the line for me.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of my goal, is just slowly release music, maybe make something happen of a music career, and then when I'm ready to leave Smash, I'll have something else to go do.
That's got to be kind of hard to juggle too, because you want to be amazing at Smash and you want to make the rap thing work out. It probably is hard to balance both of them, or
yeah, 100%. And that's kind of why, like, in the last maybe 6 months or so, my results kind of haven't. Well, I'd say like last year especially, my results weren't really at the same level as the year before, just because it's like I have to do so much, right? I'm working on music, and I've gotten a lot better at making music and releasing it, but at the time I didn't know what I was doing, so it would take me like 4 days to like write one verse, it's like to make it perfect. But now that I've done it so much, it's like a lot easier, so I can get things done faster. But yeah, it's definitely a balancing act of trying to figure out how am I going to release this entire album with a website and a logo and all that stuff, while also still competing and still keeping up my my ranking. And on top of that, I also work a side job currently too. I'm a contractor for a esports production studio also. So
wow.
Yeah, it's cool. But it's like I have to do all these things, and yeah, I think as I've gotten older, it's just like I'm saying, a balancing act of trying to figure out like my priorities and how I can manage my time efficiently with all those things.
Right. It's all important. It's good that you're thinking of that stuff too, because you're right. So many people who are Smash competitors are just so focused on Smash alone, but that's a it has a shelf life. There's only so long that you can compete in Smash, and you have to have that backup plan. So it's great that you have that. I've actually oh, you posted it in chat, right? Thank you, Tony. I just copy pasted the link to your Spotify as well. So for anybody else, yeah. And by the way, guys, whoever is currently in the chat, feel free to also drop your questions for Mike Haze. If you have any questions for Mike Haze, we'll be doing a short Q&A at the end of the show and see what you guys think. Some of you guys might know Mike Haze a little better than I do, so hopefully we have some nice creative questions. Tony will grab the questions. He'll send them to me on Discord, and then I can read them out loud. But let's get back to it. So more recently, like you said, you became closer with Chillin' Dude. You guys joined forces to weigh in on the Salem drama with your Salem.
We did.
One Trick Phony rap here. Let's check that out as well.
All right, everyone. We hit the goal for the Mr. Wizard diss track. So without further ado, here it is. The Mr. Wizard disc coming right up. Yo, Mr. Wiz, which game had the hypest plays? Not including Melee, dog, that was a mistake. Don't come calling back when you doing badly. You make me and Mike Haze look like fucking athletes. Built from the ground up, Evo in the rear view. Mr. Wiz is talking shit, but we don't even hear you. Melee not at Evo? Guess you feeling overworked. 9 whole games, but you only own that orange shirt.
Okay, wait a minute. Why are we even wasting time with Mr. Wizard Dog? Like, no one really cares that much. I got someone better we could diss. Drop the beat, chillin'. So what is this? It's a Salem diss. We spittin' too much fire, time to burn a Salem witch. It's obvious. I'm thinking you should call it quits. You're being such a little bitch that even Taco Kids is talking shit.
Hard to miss, I got bars to spit. You had a nice little run, but it's gone to shit. I had to cool the flow down, cause my lines is coming too hot. I'ma rep the team down at Summit, but you not.
You're not at Summit. I think that all your stock will plummet. So stop disrupting if your stupid tweets your only function. Got no discussion. We gonna make you disappear. You can't stand up for nothing because you were short as your career.
Let me make it clear, Melee created this. Why you out here talking shit? We all got a stake in this. Get this man some help because that Twitter looking terrible. Don't worry, I bet MVG will take good care of you.
You're off and extreme. You're so often it seems it won't stop, so you getting dropped in the team. It's on and serene. You're so lost in the scheme. You try to follow your dream, but no one watches your stream.
Not trying to be mean, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I was winning tourneys back when this dude was in diapers. Unlike Salem, Melee always has a rebirth and plump outplace you. Where were the years of research?
A swift procedure, we rose to Salem on the leisure. I'm thinking he heard and he needs to go and smoke some reefer. You had a master plan and none of it has gone right. But why we wasted time when he got 65th at Frostbite?
Oh right, I was expecting just a little more. Next time prerequisite, diss him one top 64. Salem just another scrub, you know I don't got time for these. Leave this dude behind and we all just saying finally.
That was actually sick. That was so well done. And then even Tapo's talking shit. I thought that was hilarious. But
thank you, dude. It was it was really fun to do that. Him and I have we've had a collab that we haven't released yet, which we've been having we've had it for like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
But just in classic Smash Bash, we haven't done anything with it. So we'd been wanting to collab for a while. And I jokingly told him like a week or two before, I was like, "Yo, we should just diss Salem. It should be mad funny."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "No, yeah, I can't because the team, we're on the same team and stuff." I was like, "All right, that's fair." And the day of, like the moment, like within like 5 minutes of him getting dropped, chilling message, he's like, "Yo, you down for a track?"
That's so savage.
It's so funny. So yeah, we did it, and again, it was just the same kind of thing. We're just like, I think he got dropped on Wednesday, and then by Friday we had a diss track going. We had a video for it. We had everything done.
Wow. Perfect.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was fun. I got to do the mix. It was really it's annoying, but I got to do and also a learning process because I had to do the mixing for it and I had to like make everyone's voice sound good and do all the new engineering parts of that. So that's been a learning too. But it's kind of like applying my knowledge of like what I've learned through music and applying it in different spots. So I thought it was pretty sick. And then I think that like it's one of the newer Smash things I've done. I also did a Smash Cypher late last year. But those like kind of show how I'm like more versatile than just doing, diss tracks or like, I at least when I listen to it, I could see that I'm not just like a one-trick pony. I'm not just just dissing somebody in that. So many elements to what's improved in my rap that I can look back and be proud of it.
Yeah. I think it definitely turned out well, and it's just perfect example of like creative content that you can make off of stuff like this. You're kind of just like reacting to what's controversial in Smash right now. Like you could make you could do like a crab diss track. I don't know what you're gonna do there, but something with a crab.
Oh, you're onto something, dude. I like that.
I don't know
the guy's name too. I mean,
oh, you gotta get the crab guy. Yeah, crab guy diss track.
I know his league. You find him, get him on the show.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so let's like some context for this though is so One Trick Phony, I'm assuming came from Salem calling out Armada on Twitter saying he was a one-trick pony for only being good at Melee, which is I find that's crazy because not only is it untrue, but damn, like he wasn't just good at Melee, he was the GOAT of Melee. So like tell me a bit about Salem. Do you know much about his beef with the Melee community? I know you weighed in on this as well.
I don't understand. So I played Brawl 2. Like I'm the same bro. Like I don't get it. He holds this like resentment towards the Melee community, and I think like how he feels is definitely valid. I think you can feel however you would like to, and
Sure.
your opinions are your own, and your experiences are your own, and that's totally cool. I respect that. I respect everybody's opinions. It's just the way he expressed it. It's always that. I feel like
So trying to instigate, kind of.
Yeah, it's just the way you're expressing things, right? Like that's always the big problem with a lot of like arguments people have. It's like, okay, I think what you're saying is valid, but you're saying it like a fucking asshole. You know, like we're gonna be back. Like if you're being a dick, we're gonna be a dick. This is how it is.
Yeah.
So I think he holds resentment just because he played Brawl, he won Apex, he was one of the best Brawl players.
Sure.
But he didn't get the spotlight that a lot of the Melee players did.
Sure.
And I think those are totally valid. I think there is more context to that too. I think the Melee community did a much better job of, I don't want to say branding. I don't like using the word branding themselves, but really branding themselves and branching out and doing different things outside of just competing.
Right.
That's why so many of the most popular Smashers are Melee figures. Melee figures, right? They're Melee players because they weren't just focusing on competing. We also saw the other important parts, which is having a good Twitter or being on Twitch or being on YouTube and just doing that for years and years and years. And then now we have the following that we do. So I think he holds resent towards that, which I understand, but it's like there's reason behind that and there's ways to resolve that.
Right. So it wasn't really just that like Melee is like stomping out Brawl or something. It's more so the growth and success of individuals in Melee and how explosive that was and how that's taking the spotlight. And these are, great personalities, charismatic people. It's So I understand that, yes, some of that's grounded in some truth. There are a couple bad eggs in the Melee community, and that's consistent across the board as well. You have a tweet about it, which Tony, you can throw up where you're kind of weighing in on the discussion here. Where you said Smash 4 players, one unit, one community. Also, Smash 4 players, Melee players are only playing our game to clout chase. And then there's a kind of hilarious discussion that follows. If you look at some of the comments there, this one right here, he says, I'm a Smash player. Along with that, I know many things that most don't know about these communities. Melee isn't part of the actual Smash community, and I'm not saying that because I don't like them. I'm saying it because of years of research, and I love the reply. Look at this bar chart. Oh my God, dude. There you can see it. That's the research. So now you know that Melee clearly it's not present on that graph. It's not a part of the, the Smash community. So that's proof right there. I love that. That was hilarious.
That was the start of it all, dude. Like Salem was just kind of like sort of on the radar in terms of being an asshole. Yeah. But then after that, I remember that tweet blew up. I was like, yo, what the hell? And after that one, that's when he became a meme within the FGC and everybody. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, have your opinions, just express them thoroughly and properly, and you won't get crap for it. But that was just horrible. Years of research. Like, I don't know. The sentiment of like, I get what he's saying, right? I understand that he feels like the Melee community is very different from the Ultimate community or the Smash 4 community or Brawl. But like, that's not how you go about resolving it. Like, that's just kind of like fighting fire with fire. You just, make a post about how you feel alienated and go from there. And I think resolution can happen. But, oh, Jesus, I don't know, man. I don't know.
We all go through the same struggles. We share the same venues, the same tournament organizers. It's all part of the same community. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there are like people who play Melee don't necessarily play Smash 4, let's say. But one of the cool things about Smash recently is that now it's been brought closer together than it ever has, right? Like Smash Ultimate is very highly appreciated. I like Smash Ultimate. I think it's cool. So many Melee fans like Smash Ultimate, and we all respect each other now as a result. So I don't even think we have to worry too much about how Brawl, might not have been in the spotlight and Melee was, whatever it is. I think that Smash as a community has grown in such a positive way in so many, aspects. So I feel like we should, I don't know, just being a little bit too much of a dampener on things.
Yeah, definitely. And just the way, like, people brought up good points about how he was trying to gatekeep, and like that was a big thing. It's like, like for me, for example, like I went out and found a store that was going to sell me Ultimate early, just so I can get a couple extra hours. I wasn't streaming it. I wasn't getting content out of this. I wasn't milking the community. Yeah. I went out to buy it early so I could fucking play it and then go to a tournament, right? Like I was trying to play it. But then having Salem say that kind of stuff, or I saw a lot of Smash 4 players or Ultimate players now saying like, "Oh, you guys are just doing this for clout. You're just doing this because you want attention. You want to get popular." It's like what? Like, no, that's not how this works.
You wouldn't be grinding it that much, though. Like, right. The amount of time and dedication. Like, you look at somebody like Leffen who's complaining, but he's putting in more hours than like anybody. So I mean,
literally that. Yeah. I think during the first couple weeks of Ultimate, like the most watched streamer was like 0, and then it went to like Mango, Leffen, Flop, and then some others and stuff. But like,
Right.
why is that? Are they milking it? No, dude, they're putting in the most time to the fucking game.
Yeah.
And also, like, them putting in time to the game gets more people involved in the Ultimate community, so it's only good for them.
Yeah.
Right? Or it's only good for the Smash community. Like, it's so stupid to me. I look at it from the point of view as like the Ultimate community success is also our success, right?
Yeah.
The more they grow, the more people will also watch our game and potentially enter our game, and the more people that watch us will get involved and potentially enter theirs. So I see it as overall growth. I think it's dumb.
What do you think of Smash Ultimate? So as somebody who you played it a bit, it came out in December, it's exploded. It was, people loved it. It's still very popular today. But what do you think about it so far?
I don't like it at all.
You don't like it?
Just straight up. No. I clout chased my way up there, bro. I got a couple K followers from that.
Yeah.
Nah,
God, now you can run away with it. You're good.
I played it and it just wasn't for me. Like, I wonder if I didn't spend so much time on Brawl, if I would have played it now, or played Ultimate now, and I think I might have. It's just that after spending so much time with a bad game, where Brawl was fun, but like it wasn't a good game by any means. It just made me realize what I enjoy out of a game. Right? After I came back to Melee, I'm like, okay, I like games because of this. It's fast paced. There's a lot of interactions. It's not only focused on defense. Like, there's a lot of different aspects I like about it. And Ultimate is just like not that for me. It's just not the right game for me. Like, the only games I played, you're gonna laugh, I played Melee, and I probably play more Fortnite than I do Melee these days.
Oh no.
I love Fortnite.
No.
It is so good. It is so
good.
But
you know what? There is so much technical skill in Fortnite.
Right.
I mean, you watch the building, you can see the depth right there. Like, I mean, so you got to appreciate that. But Fortnite is the bandwagon as well. So you got to.
No, it is. It is. I hate it brings up other stuff too, where like I always joke around that I wish we had Nintendo's dev support. I look at the prize pots for Fortnite. I'm like, damn, like first place is taking home a couple million. Like, that's insane. I'm taking home like $50 and a beer. Like, I'm not getting anything. But then I look at how Fortnite's treating their competitive community and just seeing all the changes they're making, not really listening to their pros.
Yeah, every season, constantly changing.
Dude, every week there's a patch. So like,
it's crazy.
So I see that, and that's the other side of the coin, where it's just like, yeah, you get all this money, but you're really enjoying yourself as a competitor? Probably not.
Right. That's literally chasing clout right there.
Honestly,
for some people, I'm sure, like, just because you're constantly dealing with stuff that you might not even want to deal with, just to, there's so much opportunity there.
For sure. If you ever look at how unhappy some of their pros are, I'm not going to say his name, but like, the face of Fortnite, like I've watched his streams, he just does not look happy anymore. Like, it does not look like he's even enjoying himself. Yeah. And that just kind of speaks to the game. Lately anyway.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about Ninja, I can imagine there's.
I wasn't. I was just saying the face of Fortnite.
Fortnite's probably just the foundation for the guy, but there's so much else I can only imagine that would stress the man out with the kind of popularity that he has, the expectation from fans, whatever it is. He's got a lot going on, I'm sure. But really interesting. And so Smash Ultimate, though, despite the fact that it might not be for you, I do think that Nintendo did a good job hitting a nice sweet spot with the game, where I feel like it's very easy to get into. It's very approachable, but it's fast enough and it has enough nuance to it that I can respect it as a competitive title, if that makes sense. So I've played it. I've enjoyed it as well. But I'm starting to get the fatigue. Like, I kind of want Melee back. And I think that Pound is kind of showcased an opportunity like already. And so first of all, let's start by saying, with the introduction of Smash Ultimate kind of pushed Melee out of EVO. What do you think about that, first off? Melee not making it.
I am conflicted because I think it sucks, of course. Like, I think anyone who wants to see the Melee community succeed is saddened by that, at least long term. Because, again, having that many eyes on your events can allow more people to get involved in your community. So that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I'm conflicted because EVO was such a horrible event. EVO sucks. Like, honestly, EVO blows. Outside of, it's just like, it's not fun for any other reason outside of it being in Vegas
and being popular on Twitter or Twitch. Yeah.
I don't know. As someone who goes, right, like, I don't care about that, right? For me, it's just like the experience there. And it being in Vegas is like the main thing. Like, we go not even caring about the tournament. We're there to hang out, drink, and gamble.
Right. It's Vegas.
Right. And then right when the tournament's over, that's what we go do. While I'm there, I try to practice and stuff, and of course I take it seriously, but like, it is not a well-run event. It's all like best of threes the entire time. There's not enough setups. Like, I have a story from it was either last year or the year before, where like S2G was trying to warm up. for his top 8 qualifier match. He had to play Duck, and he has Plup next to him. SUJ and Plup sitting there, and they're trying to find a setup to play on. And he asked some guys like, "Hey, dude, I have to play my qualifying match for top 8 next. Is it cool if I hop in this TV?" And the guy's like, "Nah, dude, go play somewhere else."
Wow.
And it's just like, dude, like that's what I'm saying. There's no fucking setups. There's
Try that
nowhere
with
for people to go.
Dude, dominate the setup. Good luck.
He will. You can't kick him off.
You can't.
But yeah, like that's the kind of thing. It's just like, dude, there's no steps to play. The top 8 qualifiers couldn't even warm up to play. Like this is the biggest match of his life, and he couldn't play it. Right? Like he couldn't warm up, and he ended up winning. But it's just like that speaks to how bad of a tournament experience
he did pretty amazing at Evo.
Yeah, he did great. I don't know. I know he beat Duck, and he ended up in top 8. I don't know who he beat that tournament. I'm not sure if that's when he beat. That might be
2016. Was that HBox's win?
I don't know. Probably. I think SJ went out to beat West Balls, and he had a good run. But like,
oh yeah, it was SJ West Balls. Yeah, and those are always fun to watch.
That was a sick one. Yeah, that was the first time he beat West Balls in a long time.
I think it was the first Falcon in top 8 of Evo as well.
I think you're right. Yeah. That was a good one. Yeah. Almost didn't happen if you didn't find a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just that's just kind of how the tournaments run. It's just like there's not a lot of friendlies, and I think fostering and catering to the community overall is really important, and that's why sadly a lot of Smash players don't support a lot of FGC events, just because they feel like we always feel like we're a side event. There's not enough setups. It's not catered. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's not only catered to us. Of course, we're going to get some negatives, but at the same time, it's like, why attend that then? Like some people think that, like, why would I go to Evo when I could just go to Genesis, who's going to give us 128 setups, 24-hour venue, Smash ladder, and all sorts of stuff.
Genesis is awesome to watch too. So I mean, like the massive stadium that you guys seem to have too, like there or whatever. I'm not sure what that hall is, but it's always so great to see that.
I think it's a music venue.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really dope. It's like 2 stories, and Genesis is a cool event. One of my favorites.
Yeah. But yeah, so Evo not being there is unfortunate, but at the same time, Melee has always been grassroots, and that's always been where it succeeded the most. And there's so many events that we're still having, so it seems to still have it still has legs. It's still growing, and it's still bringing in successful viewership. And that's when Pound 2019 rolls around, and man, I gotta say, like you have Mango HBox Grand Finals. We've seen Mango HBox time and time again. By the end of 2018, I was pretty tired of the constant Fox Puff matchup. But in Pound 2019, when Mango takes winner semis, and that's like the first time he's beat HBox in like a year, I think, in that set. Something about that, I got that excitement again. I got that feeling. I was like, shit, man, Melee's back. That's it. Like the way that he beats Hungrybox in this unorthodox, like he's nuts when he plays. And even though he lost, it was awesome. And then they have a crab toss at the end as well, and then that blows up on the internet. Like HBox is upset about it, but man, his career, like I'm sure he got so many hits and follows and everything just as a result of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so what do you think of Pound? And what do you think of Melee? Is it kind of rising back up? Even Leffen's been putting up some videos saying, Smash Ultimate might not be the next coming,
Right. Pound was dope, and it was really weird, too, because I think this is the first major that we've had since Ultimate's release where Melee had a higher peak.
Right.
I actually pulled the stats at some point just from my own knowledge, and it was like, I think Melee peaked around 79,000.
Wow.
And Smash Ultimate peaked around 49,000.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's insane, right? It's a
big
more people. Yeah, more people ended up attending Pound for Ultimate. It was like double or triple the entrance.
Yeah.
So like it was pretty insane that we got so many viewers. But I think that just kind of speaks to Melee as a game and as a historic storyline, right? Like people look at it and it's like, wow, the tale of Mango clutching it out and HBox and losers is so impressive, and it has so much history to it that people will always continue to tune in.
Yeah.
In terms of Melee being like stagnant or grow or not growing or if it's growing, I think it's back to growing. Like I was talking to Crimson Blur, who's like a figurehead in Melee, and he was talking to me about how like this happens every time there's a new game where people will play the new game for a while, and then a bunch of them end up coming and joining the Melee community.
Right.
And I've started to see that now. Like I went to Hugo's going away party, and there's this I forget his tag. I feel so bad, but there's an Ultimate player there, and he's like playing Fox, and I've seen him at a couple tournaments now. I'm like, oh, like he's in the Melee community now. But he was like a top player in Ultimate or in Smash 4. So like, there's always going to be those people, and I think again both their success is our success, like I was saying. But I think now that people have played Ultimate enough, it's maybe not. It's still interesting to them, but it's not as interesting as upon release.
Yeah.
Viewership and players will start coming back and investing themselves back into Melee.
Yeah.
Same for the players too. Like Hugo Hugs was really into Ultimate for the first couple months, and then I don't know if he hasn't played Melee either though, I guess, so that doesn't say anything. But he hasn't really been putting a lot of time into it, and I think he's going to come back to Melee, and all the people who kind of took breaks will come back and continue to compete.
That's kind of what I'm noticing. And it's not that Ultimate it disappears in any way. Like, because Ultimate will continue to be amazing, and you know, hopefully they continue to bring out good patches for the game, which is something that I'm hoping they can make some adjustments to, and bringing out new characters, and we're gonna have big events. But what's nice to see is that the two of them can just kind of be titans together. Is just what I'm hoping. But both kind of succeeding. The other big thing that I wanted to point out that I'm just so happy about, and I know the entire community is happy about, is that PPMD is live streaming. And he's been doing it like pretty regularly. He's back, sort of. What's going on here? What do you think about this?
I think it's really dope.
I think that's
we always
amazing.
joke around that we're never going to see him again. Like,
I know.
People like will say just casually that he was just like dragging us along and just giving us hope.
Man, he's going through rough times. I mean, he comes back and he's like half the size he was. Like you can only imagine he's going through a lot. Yeah.
It's crazy. You know, we say that stuff in jest, but like, of course we hope he's better and comes back. Health first, right? Obviously.
Right.
But to actually see him come back and see him make content and doing stuff is insane, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that for 2019. That was not on my that was not on my watch.
The timing, it's the script, man. There's a script.
It is a script.
Okay? He comes back when Melee needs him most. Like
it's great. I feel bad. I haven't tuned into any of his streams. Have you watched?
Have I?
Yeah, have you watched?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. So I went to his YouTube actually, and I watched the YouTube post stream. So he puts it up on the channel. I listened to like a full 40-minute analysis of Pound Mango versus Hungry Box. So he's been doing analysis stuff. He's been playing. He's been giving updates on his health and how he's doing. He is improving. He's still got a lot of hurdles to get through before he's at full health. He talked about back in 2015. When it all started, that he was too heavy, like he had gained a lot of weight, and now he's gone too far the other way. He said, and he's just trying to figure it out. But yeah, overall, it's just nice to see that he's improving. It's nice to see that he's back now and that he's creating content consistently. So yeah, that's very exciting. Yeah,
I'll have to tune in. I don't ingest a lot of Melee content outside of tournaments, just because that's what I care about most. So I haven't given a lot of time to watching other streams, but I'll have to check his out for sure.
Understandable. I think the one thing about him is just the atmosphere when you get into the chat is that everybody loves him. Like no matter what he says, what he does, he's himself, and it's just PPMD Kriegasm and the Kriegasm face the whole time. Like no matter what.
It's really funny.
They could ask him a stupid question, and when they ask him stupid questions, he's the kind of person who will he'll just answer it seriously. You know what I mean? Legitimately answer. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, you should totally rap," or I don't know. I can't think of a good example, but maybe I could do that. He just takes it seriously, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, but yeah, let's So overall, just a lot of good things coming with Melee. But what about you going onward in the future? So I know that you recently put up a video. You had a Mind of Mike, your thoughts on Thunder Smash. You ended that with an interesting topic as well that you wanted to talk about, looking at tournament ranking versus personality in Smash Bros. So is that something you're thinking down the pipeline? Are you going to be competing going onwards into the summer? What's happening with you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to keep playing until I can't, or until I can't do it financially. I'm on a team right now. I'm on Beast Coast, which I absolutely love. They're really supportive of everything I do, even, when I don't want to go to tournaments necessarily. They completely get it, and they completely get that I have other aspirations and things I want to grow. And they, the cool thing is that they believe in me too, right? I think if I told another team hey, I'm gonna not go to a tournament this month because I'm gonna work on my album, they'd be like, no, dude, you need to go. What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
But they're really supportive, and I think I feel like they kind of see the potential in me doing other stuff too. So
awesome.
I think that's dope, and it's opened up a lot of things that, and that's kind of the one thing. We're talking about personality versus results. It's this last year, I didn't get the results that I wanted or that I was expected to get, right? Or that people expected from me. But I was able to do other shit. I was on a BuzzFeed video, right? I did a video with BuzzFeed.
The drinking?
That's crazy. Yeah,
and that's follow-up to Hugs' video. That was,
right.
I watched that too. I was thinking maybe I could throw that in, but I couldn't find a convenient opportunity.
Well,
that was great too.
But yeah, so, I was able to do that, or I did, and that, got 400,000 views or something. And that
Right.
That's not because of my results. That's because of my personality. Or like I did a Smash Cypher with Shofu, and that's like over 1 million views. And it's like, that wasn't results, that was personality. So it's like, I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to start doing content. We're talking about the future. Like I want to start doing things. I want to start doing content more. I got burned out for a while. I was streaming like full time on Twitch, and I was like, 400 subs deep. And I'm like, dude, I don't enjoy this anymore. Like, I don't like that. You have to keep your personality. So you have to be like poppy and positive all the time.
Or whoever you think Mike Haze needs to be for the public. Yeah, I know.
And I have to do that all the time, and it's just not for me. So I'm gonna start focusing on YouTube content more.
Right.
It's been something I've wanted to do anyway. But I'm gonna start doing like freeform type of videos where I just like talk about things and my opinions on stuff. So like that'll be my next topic. Yeah, I mean, I want to keep competing. I'm gonna keep going to everything. I'm gonna go to like all the tournaments during the summer. Right now it's kind of a hectic time for me because I'm doing Melee stuff on top of I'm about to release an album. Hopefully in July we're gonna be like ready for launch for a full album. It's gonna be like 10 tracks. Gonna have a website, merch, rebranding, all that stuff. So like I'm like head deep in all that stuff right now. But as soon as that's done, like I'm 100% back.
Yeah. Well, I like it, man. And I think you're right. I think personality, in the end of the day, that's what lives on, longer than your hands do, at least, right? And
for sure.
Remains to be seen how long some of our hands will live, because, I mean, Hugo's still playing, and the man's a dinosaur now. So, just
no, it's so important. Like, even in just to expand a little bit more, it's like, it's the reason I look at some old players. Like, if people only love you for your results, like, that's so fickle. Like,
oh, for sure.
What happens the moment they're gone? And I see that with Ultimate players who have, like, 60,000 to 80,000 to 100,000 followers, where like they have those, and that's dope. That's a cool number, right? Like I'm envious of that. I want that number. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then I look at their engagements, and it's like, oh wait, you get like 30 favorites a tweet. Like no one really, they don't really fuck with you.
They don't know who you are. Yeah.
Right. They just care that you play Pikachu. So like, or sorry, shit, that wasn't a shot. I'm just saying. They just care that you play
all Pikachu mains. Falco.
No. I'm just saying though. It's just like that's what they care more so about your results. So it's like
right.
But then I compare it to mine, where like people fuck with me for me, right? They like me for my personality, and like I'm just a normal human to them, and that's what I want. That's what I want. I just want to be relatable and friends with everyone who helps me do what I want to do.
And I think the Smash community is kind of the ultimate example of that. I mean, Mango is personality off the charts, right? He's also has results as well. But I mean, you look at a lot of the top players, and it's the personality combined with those results that kind of creates this explosive character in the esports industry. If it wasn't for personalities like Mango, Armada, Mewtwo King, all of these guys, Melee is an amazing game, but I feel like Melee wouldn't be where it is. It wouldn't succeed the same way. So you're absolutely correct. And I hope to see a lot more of your personality. Any chance you're going to Gommel?
No, I actually had to bail. I registered and everything, but tickets ended up being so expensive.
Oh, damn.
I have a flight budget, which I could have probably made it work, but it was just going to be really hectic. I just came back from Pound, and it was like a 6-hour trip, and I know Toronto's going to be the same. So yeah, I'm kind of bailing on Gommel. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm just going to work on like finishing up my album pretty much. So hopefully that'll be out soon.
Awesome.
So yeah, July. I'll probably have updates. I'm trying to do a music video this month and trying to make that really, really succeed, dude. Like that's my backup plan, So I got to make sure everything goes right with it.
Yeah, I like it, man. Looking forward to seeing what you bring both in the rap game and the Smash game over the summer and beyond. But that covers everything for the interview today, man. So thank you so much for joining me, especially we had a whole coordination and trying to, like, I didn't even contact you. UGC did, and then we set it up last minute. But thank you for coming on, man. It was a great time.
Sure. Yeah, my pleasure, dude. Nice meeting you. Appreciate it. I'll see you on the flip side.
No problem, man. See you around.
All right, peace.
All right, that covers our second episode of Talking Smash. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have plenty more Smash content planned, more interviews, more news, so make sure to stick around with Talking Smash. I'll see you guys next week.